I'm ready.
Are you sure you're ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So how are we going to introduce you?
What do you mean?
We got to introduce you.
What do you mean, how?
I don't know.
Wow, that is like neon looking in the camera.
And so is mine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Ready.
Ready.
Break. Okay.
Okay.
You gotta have blooper reel. Yeah. Oh, and just a reminder, which side is the camera on?
That side.
Yay!
Okay.
Angie,
Yes.
we're gonna film today.
Okay.
Are you comfortable?
I'm gonna be.
Okay. But currently, are you comfortable?
Sure.
Okay. You're not comfortable. So,
I'll be fine.
hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Karen. This is Southern Ketovore, and this is my lovely sister-in-law, Angie.
Hello.
Some of you who were at Ketopalooza would have met Angie, but today we decided we're going to jump in and do a little bit longer of a conversation, right?
Yes.
Get to know you.
Sure.
Yes. Angie is uncomfortable on camera.
Very.
But I'm by her side.
That's
This
right.
is going to be fine. If I was able to do this, she is able to do this.
That's
because
right.
I literally wanted to throw up.
Yes. I pushed her into every situation possible.
Yes. And I mean, when I started my channel and then at Ketopalooza, like she was my wingman. So she is uncomfortable. So bear with us today as I try to pull her out of her shell. Secondly, her gremlin is running around outside. And
Yes.
so when you hear all the snorting and everything, that's what's happening, is the Frenchie that's just running around like a maniac.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
She's currently under our chairs.
Currently under our chairs, but she makes lots of crunchy noises. So we will have her. All right. Angie,
Yes.
are you comfortable telling the world how old you are?
Yes, I am 46. I'll actually be 47 on December 1st.
Okay. What is our relationship? How do we know each other?
Oh. I was like, what? You already said I'm your sister-in-law. Yeah, well, so we are in-laws. You're married to my younger brother, but much taller and looks older. And you're one of my very best friends. And you are who I have to thank for my current health status. Yes.
Indeed. Which rolls us right into the first question.
Okay.
Okay. So before you came to a ketogenic lifestyle, what was your life and your health situation like?
Not good. I have always trended overweight. I have tried probably every diet in the world. I did the Weight Watcher thing, which, knowing what I know now, how anyone can say that you can have donuts on a diet should tell you that that's not a healthy lifestyle, no matter what. I've done a lot of different trendy diets. I've done a lot of things. I don't know what my heaviest weight was, to be honest. When I actually started tracking, it was after other efforts, and I was somewhere around 320 pounds. Felt bad, slept bad. My knees I have old volleyball injuries from high school and college, and they only get worse. I have pretty bad arthritis for somebody my age, according to my doctor. But I was on 3 medications for asthma, high blood pressure medicine.
Did you find yourself taking medicine frequently for pain
Oh my God.
or discomfort?
Minimum of 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen every day. And that was doing nothing at this point. Was real close to looking at injections for the pain that I had in my knees, particularly. And just genuinely feeling bad all the time. Like, felt bad about myself, felt bad just in general. Sorry, cut that out. I, in 2008, went to the doctor, to my gynecologist, and the the birth of Chandler, Chainsaw, that everyone knows and loves, my niece, made my husband and I think maybe we want kids, because neither one of us were really interested. And then in 2008, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting pregnant. So I went to my gynecologist, had a bunch of tests done, and was diagnosed with PCOS and metabolic syndrome. I am insulin resistant. So all of those things kind of led me to start thinking, how do I get healthy? Because my doctor said, well, if you lose a significant percentage of your body weight, you'll get pregnant. So then he put me on metformin. I felt like crap taking metformin.
Did I give you like a digestive issue?
Yes. Yes.
That seems to be the typical.
I just felt bad. I didn't lose any weight when I was taking the metformin. So then I joined what used to be called the Dr. Jones diet here in Charleston. It then became Metabolic Medical Center, which I think is now something else.
It's now, it was owned by Medifast, which is like the national parent company. That is who now currently operates Optavia.
Oh.
Which, all of us have like friends from high school that peddle that on Facebook. But that's super unhealthy, like ultra low calorie. Here, take this handful of vitamins,
tons of pills,
and watch your hair fall out while you starve your body and don't get enough adequate protein to survive.
Yes, and I did that diet for 5 to 6 months. I did lose like 30 something pounds. I shrunk down, but I was eating 500 calories a day. I cried a lot because I was hungry, but because I was losing weight, I stuck with it because I was like, oh, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And I just genuinely, health-wise, did not have more energy. I felt bad. My hair started thinning and falling out. And for the first time in my life, I had 4 cavities. And when I went to my dentist, that was kind of my wake-up call, because he was like, have you been eating a bunch of candy? And I immediately started crying. I was like, I can't have candy. I can't drink soda. And he was like, I mean, you look great, but if this is happening to your mouth, what's happening inside? And I was like, oh my God, okay. That can't be good. So I stopped that. Of course, I put all that weight back on and then some.
Because you didn't learn anything by only eating 500 calories.
Well, and they gave you these shakes and all these pills, and like, I'm not good at swallowing pills. So when they give you a fiber pill that's like this big, I was like, can't, that scene from Baby Mama? When she's like, I can't do it. Yeah, that's me. That's 100% me. It doesn't even have to be that big, and I'm going to choke on it. But I just, please cut that out. Please cut that out. Oh my God. I just heard it. That was so bad. So bad. Do not put that in there, Karen. That's good for bloopers, but not in the actual interview. That was terrible. Woo! Okay. Right now, somewhere my husband's head is exploding.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in a good way. So back to serious. So I mean, I want to say I was at my heaviest when we got married. I did not feel beautiful on my wedding day. I hated how I looked. I hate my wedding photos. When I look at them, all I see is my size. I don't see a happy, I was happy. I remember having a great time at my wedding, but I did not like my photos at all. So if you ever see me post photos, it's usually the ones of my husband smiling at me with the back of my head being seen, because those are the ones that I want to remember. But I genuinely don't know if I was bigger when I started the ketogenic diet or if I was back then, because I have no idea. I stopped weighing myself. I stopped wanting to know.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh my God. It's okay. I'm not looking because I don't want to know.
All right, scoop, bud.
Just kill it if it's a spider.
It's a jumping spider. We don't kill those. Doing great.
Hi! You see the snorting?
What's happening?
Hi! Don't you knock that camera over. Come here. Don't knock the camera over.
Can you not jump? I know.
No, she doesn't help.
Because you have the weirdest center of gravity ever. Yes, you do.
She's what middle-aged men in skinny jeans look like when she stands up. Hi! Are you being a gremlin?
This is Munchie.
This is Munchie. Love of my life. Oh my goodness, I know. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
gotta
the
be the center of
grunting.
attention.
Yes.
This is what you hear. All the grunting. Yeah.
She's got on her cute little Halloween.
That's right.
I'm
I'm
a
a theme doll.
It
I
can-
like my themes.
I mean, nearly cutting off her air supply.
what?
It's because she's so...
I know, she's so fat. She's like a freaking loaf of bread.
Her
with
name
feet.
should be Tater. It should be Tater! So, we're okay. We've talked about the health situation and everything leading up to it and kind of roughly what we believe your starting weight was. Right?
Yes, I know I was definitely wearing a 3X 26, 28.
Okay.
At my very largest.
And are you comfortable at this point in the conversation in this video for me to throw in a couple of your before photos?
Sure.
Okay. She will sign off, and so those will be on here at the same time. So when did you start? When did you finally take the leap and start in with a ketogenic lifestyle?
I officially started November 2nd, 2020. Karen had mentioned keto a few times. I actually did try to look it up and became incredibly overwhelmed. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. I'm not reading all that literature to try to figure out how to do it. I'm not doing it.
And I think that was the year that keto was the #1 most Googled word in the country. It was either 2019 or 2020. So by that point, there were thousands of Facebook groups and thousands of terrible bloggers and vloggers alike that were spreading some pretty crap information. Yeah. And also, like, that was the boom of all of the keto labeled and branded items.
It was everywhere all of a sudden.
Yeah. So that I can understand, like, having started way before that, it was both harder and easier because there was less noise.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Googling it on your own in 2020, I'm sure, was overwhelming.
Yeah. And it's funny because I actually started with a new gynecologist in late 2017, and because mine retired, and I went to
Ours retired.
Yeah, ours retired. We now go to the same again, which is, she's wonderful. Holla, Dr. Savage. But when I started with her, I pretty much came right out the gate with, I've got hormonal issues. I want a hysterectomy. I'm done. And she was like, slow your roll. It's our first date. You haven't even bought me a glass of wine yet.
She's pretty great.
She literally said those words. And she did a bunch of tests and wanted to kind of check my situation, and confirmed, yes, I have all these metabolic issues. Put me on a very low dose of progesterone, and I, between Thanksgiving and Christmas that year, lost 13 pounds. And believe me, I was not trying. I was literally trying to eat everything in sight.
It was just because you were finally getting a little balance to what was wonky.
Yes. And of course, have I mentioned I'm lazy? So I did not really make an effort. I didn't try to lean into that success, and just took it as I'm losing weight without trying. I'm going to eat these cookies anyway.
Especially going into the holiday season.
Right. So then 2020 happened. Fast forward to 2020, and my husband and I are working from home. We snack more. We're eating, we're ordering out and having stuff delivered. Like, we ate far more poorly than ever before. I started drinking more, and it was like happy hour every day. And then we started taking pictures, and I was like, oh my God, I look awful. I feel awful. I'm not sleeping well. My stress level is like through the roof. And finally I called Karen, and I was like, okay, Miyagi me. I don't know what to do. And the beauty was, she made it, again, I'm lazy. She knows this. She made it very easy for me, and was like, I only want you to focus on this week.
We did baby steps.
Baby, she 100% spoon fed me with a teeny tiny spoon. And I don't think I could have been successful any other way, because that's just my personality. I can't dive all in. Otherwise, I try to do everything at one time, get overwhelmed, fail, and like not doing it again.
Which I will, just to kind of bounce off of that, that's what I think a lot of people do.
Absolutely.
When they go to start any kind of diet change or lifestyle change, it's like you try to attack it from every angle, thinking that that's going to be your ticket to success. But then you have this, okay, my diet has changed drastically. I'm not drinking. I'm exercising, 7 out of 7 days a week, and twice a week I'm going twice, and I'm doing this, and I'm cutting this, and I'm, and it doesn't last, because those massive changes that quickly are just unsustainable.
Right.
You know, so you do have to kind of step into, you know, the little bits at a time.
Yeah.
But even still, I mean, you made drastic dietary changes, but I think the rules were simple in the beginning. It was like, you know, no sweets, no bread, no pasta. Like, let's start with that. Let's just focus on, you know, eliminating. But I mean, I think it took maybe a couple of weeks for you to really have it down as far as what you were eating and drinking.
Yeah.
So,
sugar was obviously the hardest thing because it's a drug. It's 100% addictive. I had the worst withdrawals and headaches and, you know, dreams about eating donuts, and donuts aren't even my go-to. Like, I don't like donuts, but it's the thing
even
that
still, if she's like super stressed, she will text me that she
why am I thinking about donuts?
And it's like, I'm with you. That's like way down on the list.
Seriously, way down. Like, cupcakes were like my favorite sweet treat thing, like from like Sugar Bake Shop downtown, but not once did I think I'm gonna go to Sugar Bake Shop and get me a treat. No one's gonna know. Like, not once. And again, I'm lazy. I'm not gonna go get it. If it's not already here, I'm not doing it. But sugar was also the one thing that I learned quickly I definitely don't want. And
because you when you did,
oh God, I thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah.
So for my brother, her husband's birthday that next year,
so it had been, I guess, 7, 8
months. I was making regular cupcakes for a party, and I made the mistake out of complete habit and licked the batter spoon before I stuck it in the bowl in the sink. And what is that? A tablespoon, 2 tablespoons tops of something filled with sugar. And as soon as I put it on my tongue and started to swallow, I was like, oh, it was only like a tablespoon or 2. It's not gonna bother me. That's not enough to do any damage. So then I go about my business.
It was another funny. Then you skipped right on over it.
And I'm going to continue skipping over it.
So she licked the spoon.
I licked the spoon. And within half an hour, I started sweating and I got really pale and I was shaking and
Your heart was
my
racing.
heart, I thought my heart was going to explode out of my chest.
I have like my pulse goes up to like 120, 130 if I have sugar.
Yes. And my husband comes in and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't feel well. I actually think I'm having a heart attack. And he was like, what? And I was like, I think we might need to go to the hospital. And then I put my hands on the sink and I looked down and I saw the batter bowl and I was like, oh my God, this is a reaction to sugar. Holy shit.
And you think about all of the time that you spent eating those things and like, you never noticed because that was your norm. And this is how I was too. It was like, that was my norm. So you didn't notice just how bad it felt because it was a chronically bad feeling.
Right.
And then like now that you feel pretty good, it's like you have something like that and there's a pretty quick reminder. As someone's sawing also because this is James Island and everybody does stuff outside. All right. But we are going to segue into the next little portion.
Okay.
So, how has your health improved?
Oh my God, tremendously.
So, to give you some guidelines, we're going to talk about not just your weight loss, but any like blood marker numbers, any particular ailments, any meds you've been deprescribed, any ailments that are completely resolved or have improved drastically. So, tell us those things.
First and foremost, I went very quickly from 3 asthma medications down to just the one that I was an inhaler that's like 1 to 3 puffs up to twice a day, and I went down to like 1 puff a day in the morning, and then suddenly like I didn't wheeze anymore, and I didn't feel like I felt that paper bag crinkling when I woke up in the morning. And when I went back to my pulmonologist, and he was like, I think you're good, and I don't think we need this anymore. So 3 asthma medications put my asthma back into remission, which is great. And then I was taking 20 milligrams of amlosartan. It's a blood pressure medicine. That was reduced down to 5 milligrams this year, which I am very certain that when I go back to her this fall that I'm going to be done with that too, because my blood pressure significantly and consistently stays low. Whereas it was in like 140s over 80, 90s. Now it's 104 over 78 or something like that. Pretty consistently. So that I know I'll be getting off of that too. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and of course you're not pounding a whole bunch of ibuprofen every day anymore.
No, it's very rare that I have to take ibuprofen, and it's usually after I've done a lot of activity, like hello, Keto Palooza, all that
There's
walking.
a lot of walking, man.
My knee was like, what the hell?
Well, and because her knee at this point has sustained so much damage from the previous inflammation and the arthritis and everything that now, unfortunately, it still gets aggravated.
Yeah.
With too much activity. So.
And part of it's not my knee, it's my lower back, which I started going to a chiropractor, and I'm going to go, before anybody says anything and starts this all mumbo jumbo, I'm going to tell you right now, I was one of those people that was like, chiropractors are BS, and they just make problems for them to fix themselves. Yeah, okay, I was proven wrong.
Not only that, I will interject here because I kind of said that when she started going. But your chiropractor is more involved in like functional medicine, so he does a lot with really trying to get to root healing rather than just like, here, let me crack you and send you on your way.
Exactly. He's never cracked anything else on my body. He only targets where I'm actually having pain. So I've never had a traditional chiropractor crack it all, break it all. He only targets my lower back, because I went to him for my knee pain. And he was like, okay, lady, 20% of your problem is your knee. 80% is you have an injury in your lower back that you've been overcompensating for by tilting your pelvis forward to take the pressure off your knee or to take the pressure off your back, so your knee is paying for it. And it has to do with my IT band, like all this, it just, medicine.
But dramatic improvement.
Yes.
Until there's a lot of activity but now even with the chiropractor but even still you're looking at more holistic care as opposed to pain meds and scheduling surgeries and things like that. Yeah. It's something that's more manageable 100% than what it was before. And you're not having to wear like a knee brace and stuff like you did before.
Exactly. Before I started keto, I will never forget, early in 2020, I had gone to LA for work to do some filming, and I had to wear my knee brace constantly, even had to sleep with it because I was in so much pain. And I just remember walking around or limping around the LA airport and like just holding back the tears because of how big I was and how much pain I was in, and like dreading having to get back on the plane and ask for a seat belt extender and not fitting in my seat and hoping the person next to me wasn't gonna notice that I'm spilling over into the seat, and like all of those things that you don't necessarily think about when you first get onto a health journey, but it's a benefit that comes along with it.
Because at KPL, both directions flying, guess who didn't have to worry about a seatbelt extender?
Didn't even cross my mind. And
just comfortably was able to sit back, hang out in her seat. Well, as comfortable as those can be.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I used to research size of seats to see, okay, my butt is this big and the seat is this big, and oh my God. Yeah. And I don't, doesn't even cross my mind anymore.
Now, as far as, aside from like the blood pressure being a pretty significant way of comparing old to new, have there been any significant changes as far as your other like annual blood
oh my God,
or anything?
Yes.
As far as any improvements or
100%. I was pre-diabetic prior to, and I'd have to go back and pull my numbers for triglycerides and everything else, but they were all horrible.
I remember that your A1C is like 5.1, so clearly very, very healthy HbA1c these days, not remotely considered. I think 5.7 is pre-diabetic. But then also, like, your triglycerides were double digits. Like, I want to say they were in like the 70s or something.
No, I think they were higher than that before.
Well, no, I mean, that's, I think now they were in like the
it was 59 this past April.
Okay.
Yeah.
But obviously worse before.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. World's worse. Yes.
But your doctor, our doctor, because we just go to all the same doctors.
That's right.
Our GP,
yeah.
She just was like, "Hey, everything looks great."
Yeah.
See you next year.
And it's funny because I don't think that she can accept that I'm, people can't, you can't judge a book by its cover. So you can't look at a person who looks overweight and judge what their actual health is on the inside. And I am perfectly healthy for the first time in my life, probably. I feel better at 47. Oh, I'm not even 47 yet. I feel better at 47 than I did at 27. So that should tell you something.
I agree. I feel better than I did in my 20s also.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is crazy to say because it just doesn't make sense. But I do. And,
But our doctor, she does not like to just acknowledge that there's nothing wrong. And so she will hunt. It was something like blood oxygen level or something like that. It was a little...
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but she was like, it was a tenth. It was literally a tenth of a point over normal.
It was the only blood marker outside of the
only
parameters.
Thing. And even my pulmonologist, when I went to him, and I haven't seen him in years, which was fantastic because, they pull up your profile and they see your picture, and she did like a triple take. It was like, oh my God, you're blonde. And I'm like, and like almost 60 pounds lighter. Yeah, that would be me. And he comes in and he does a double take and he's like, oh my God, why are you here? And I told him, I was like, she sent me because my, whatever the number was, like, was it bilirubin? I don't know. It was something.
That's liver.
Something was a tenth of a point over, and he was like, I'm going to go ahead.
It does like the white cell count and monocytes and everything. And it was one of those. And I remember Googling it when you sent it to me, and I was like, this is like, there's a lab error, like a margin of error on this that like totally would.
She was determined that I have sleep apnea, and I was like, trust me, I don't have sleep apnea.
So
I sleep like the dead.
To appease her, you did the sleep study, and it was like, there's nothing wrong. Imagine that.
And I turned it in, and he was like, yeah. This will get her off your back. It'll be fine.
This is silly.
So, yeah, perfectly healthy.
Very good. So, now we kind of already touched on this as far as, because that's like your health, your overall health. But physically, what have you seen as far as physical changes, whether it's inches? We touched on the aches as far as your knee pain improving and everything.
Yeah.
But even how has your skin changed? We haven't touched on any changes as far as like digestion or illnesses or anything like that. Any of those things that you want to touch on?
Yeah, I don't. I think Tums probably expire before they get used in this house now. If I need Tums, it's because I'd gone out to dinner and something in my food was not aware to me that it was in my food, because I very rarely have issues with indigestion anymore. I used to pop Tums like candy, pretty much.
I had car Tums, work Tums, house Tums.
See? Yeah. So it's pretty rare now. But I have them, but I constantly have to go through and clean out our medicine drawer because stuff just expires now instead of getting used, which is funny.
And so pre-keto, you said you were like size 26, 28.
Yep.
Okay. So what are we looking at as far as typical dress size now?
I am between a 16, 18, large, extra large, just depends on the brand and where. And it's funny because I will get things like Anthropologie is one of my favorite stores, and it will crack me up because I will immediately, my brain, just like back then, I would immediately grab the 3X first because I knew I'm not going to be a smaller size. And now I immediately grab the XL, and it cracks me up anytime that I'm like, okay, that's too big. And then I have to go grab the large, and then I'm like, I think I might actually be able to go a little smaller.
It's hard sometimes to adjust, like mentally, to get it on track with you physically.
Yeah, well, and I still, I was talking to my mom about this morning when I went back to look at before pictures I had taken that you made me take when I first started this journey.
I told her it would be worthwhile, and damn is it worthwhile. I took them and then I squirreled them away because I did not want to see them, and honestly, some of those photos, today was the first time, or last night was the first time I had looked at them in 3 years, and it kind of blew my mind because you see yourself every day and you don't see, that your body is changing, that you're changing, but you don't really see it. You still see, and excuse me for using the terminology, but I still see fat me, and I can't help it. I will say when I get dressed
or when I dress up for like date night or something now, I more often feel beautiful than I ever did at that weight. I never felt pretty enough. And now I definitely know that I have more often days where I feel very confident about how I look. And when I leave the house, like, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm not worried about it. Yeah.
And you can tell too. So last night I was going through trying to, I stole some of her Facebook profile pictures because those are public, and I told her she can't get mad at me if I steal them. And, you know, of course, all of them, there was a typical theme for anybody who is self-conscious where it is this much of your body. And so it's only her face, and even your face, I mean, half of her face is gone.
It is.
And so I was blown away looking at them, where it's like, you know, first of all, in many, many ways, you just look so much younger because your face has opened up, like your eyes have opened up.
Yeah.
But just,
well, and I don't
you
think...
can see the despair or this like unhappiness,
the pain
in all of those
you
photos.
can see the pain. It's
even smiling.
Yep.
It was very, you weren't smiling with your eyes. You were just, it was like someone was like, here, click. And so she was like,
a fake smile every time. Yeah.
And
I don't like being in pictures. I didn't like, you know, I don't.
And then you look at pictures from KPL and you look at her face right now and she's just smiling because she's happy and she feels good.
Right.
And at this point we're right at about 60 pounds down.
Almost. I cannot seem to get over the 60 pound, but I'm gonna.
But that is worth addressing because you are almost 3 years in.
Yes.
And some people lose like 100 pounds their first year.
Yes.
But some people have a lot of healing to do.
Yes.
And both Angie and I have metabolisms that we wrecked with just absolute garbage diets for so long, and severe calorie restriction and everything. So there's a lot of healing that has to happen.
Yes.
And
yes. And who's the doctor that he said that, like, when you have significant metabolic damage, that, and insulin resistance is a big one, but he was like, don't expect to see like major healing changes for 2 years.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember who it was.
It's the one with the A. He's like super fit carnivore doctor. Older guy, gray hair. Why can't I come up with his name? I will. I'll find it in a minute.
I feel like what's gonna bother me?
Let's see.
Anyway, so that kind of segues us in, though. Because we are, and I've got a few other questions that we were going to ask Angie, but because we're about halfway through, we do want to announce what we are doing. I kind of briefly mentioned it in my October challenge video.
Okay.
So Angie is joining me for October. Basically, you know, here's the thing. Dr. Ryan Lowry, that we heard at KPL, just a couple of days ago posted, you know, this is the time of year when everybody throws in the towel. They're like, oh, well, Halloween's coming around, and then, you know, like, got Thanksgiving, got Christmas parties for work, and so people just kind of shove it all off. And apparently, January 1st is falling on a Monday. So now, of course, everybody, that New Year's resolution thing is going to be huge. And I always was guilty of this time of year being like, well, there's no point. Like, there's no point.
Right.
But we were like, nah, F that, we're not doing that this year. We really, I think, have been pretty good the last couple of years as far as just at least maintaining through the holidays, but we ain't doing that. This year, starting today, except that somebody screwed up and forgot and put half and half in her coffee this morning. Today,
beef, butter, bacon, and eggs.
Okay, so you guys know that I've done this before. I did a month, I've done a week, I've done here and there little baby challenges. Angela has only done
1 week.
1 week ever.
And that was with chicken wings because I had it in my head, I have to have chicken wings.
She has to have chicken wings. I can't only have beef and bacon.
I can't be restricted.
Well, this girl is being restricted.
I'm on board.
So what we are doing is from today until Wednesday before Thanksgiving, beef, butter, bacon, eggs. Avoiding dairy.
100%.
And I keep yelling this at her because the girl knows that she does not tolerate dairy well, but she is a glutton for punishment and continues to consume dairy all the time.
I love cheese.
And it's great. I know, I also love cheese, but did you know that cheese has casomorphines that activate the same things in your brain that sugar does and that heroin does? So this is why people get addicted to cheese, and then that becomes the crutch when you let go of the sugar.
Yeah.
So we are going dairy-free 100% for the duration of this challenge. So starting today, October 15th, until Wednesday, November, the day before Thanksgiving. I think it's the 23rd, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I'll put it on the thing for everybody. This is what we're doing.
That's right.
And so this morning, we had Angie weigh in and do her measurements. I weighed in and did my measurements. Both of those, that information is going to be in the description box below so that we have documented with everybody our starting everything.
Accountability.
For this challenge. Now, Angie has never had the world watching her.
No.
Not that it's the world. This isn't a big channel. But she has not had an audience and a support team cheering her on because it's always been
outside of her. Yeah.
Yeah. Her husband, by the way,
not keto.
Not keto at all. Like, he eats like an unsupervised frat boy. So, I hope he never heard me. I love him.
Yes.
Maybe enough people, maybe we should start like a change.org thing and get people to like sign a petition to get John to start keto.
I feel like there's probably a lot of people that need to get their spouses in the mix. Yeah. His health scares me. I love him. I'd like to keep him around, but so help me God, if he continues the path he is, he better make me a rich widow, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, we've discussed this, and he's stubborn.
So stubborn.
He thinks, I will say, it's not his fault. He is absolutely convinced of the like OG food pyramid of 6 to 12 servings of starches and grains a day, and you have to have fruit with every
have
meal.
To eat breakfast every morning.
Breakfast. And so he believes he's doing it right. But unfortunately, as you get older, your body changes, your metabolism changes, and your habits in general change. And it is, when I was looking at your profile pictures, and I found several from the same time period where I was finding your heaviest photos, and he was very lean.
He was.
And it was kind of shocking because just like with the how gradual weight loss you don't notice.
Yeah.
You don't notice with gradual weight gain. And I mean, we are convinced that he is likely pre-diabetic or diabetic, but his doctor refuses to run an HbA1c, even though his fasting glucose has been in the 120s for his blood work every year.
Yeah. And his
doctor should be fired.
His triglycerides, when I originally started keto, it may have even been the same year. His triglycerides were, and I'm not even joking, I'll show you the deets, in the 1400s. I didn't mistake that. I didn't add a zero. 1400s. So then the following year, because he was getting his tested around April, which is around when I get mine tested, I put him on a diet that next April, and I was like, you can only eat what I let you eat. No drinking beer. He's a huge craft beer fan, which
craft beer is loaded.
Oh my God.
Like,
oh my God.
Tons and tons and tons. I know, because that's a big part of how I get all of that.
Yeah. So he went back in April the following year after doing a month of modified like keto.
Carb.
It's definitely low carb. And they had come down to the 600s. It was in the 400s.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is still considered exorbitantly high.
Right.
And not considered healthy. You want it under 150.
Yeah. The next year, it was in the 600s, and then I did it again and got him into the 140s, 150s, I think. It was finally within a normal range, but that was me staying on top of it.
And it's not happening anymore. And unfortunately, too, and we've discussed this in detail together as far as like cholesterol numbers and lipid panels. Both of us still fall within what's considered healthy, but we're on the higher end as far as our total cholesterol and our LDL. Yeah. But we also have high, wonderful HDL. Her husband is on two cholesterol medicines, blood pressure, gout, some other things. You have the I can't remember, something
alpurinol. Medicine is a crutch. Medicine treats your symptoms. It doesn't cure the problem.
Yeah, and it's easy. So, what would you say?
Hi.
For you, typically, hello, Grandma. Is you...
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Her legs are too short for her body.
I know, she's like T-Rex. Well, come here if you want me to pick you up. Jeez.
I'm not in Karen to pick me up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're heavy.
So I'm 22 pounds of
Yeah.
love.
Oh.
Come here.
Her breath funky.
I know, because hey, she's a carnivore too.
She is. It's just a bullshit.
The only vegetable I eat is pumpkin.
Babs, seriously.
I'm the cutest doggy in the world. I'm the cutest doggy in the world.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. What does your version of keto look like?
Now or for the challenge?
Not for the challenge, but just
Oh.
in general. What has brought you to this point of health?
Oh.
What is your version? What is Angie's keto?
So I've tried different things over the last 3 years to find my way to where my happy place is. I've done, early on with Karen, I did the carnivore challenge. I did BDE challenge.
For a week.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel best when I'm carnivore. I did go through a period, I think early last year, of elimination, just testing different vegetables because I am one of those people that'll start to miss, crunchy vegetables, and I love pickles and I love cucumbers in general, no matter how they're made, except for bread and butter. Bread and butter is disgusting.
It was gross. Don't do it.
And plus it has sugar in it anyway. So, I went through a long process of testing each thing that is considered keto friendly, but not necessarily Angie stomach friendly. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much the darker green the vegetable or the darker the color, I can't eat it. And I narrowed that down to I can eat iceberg lettuce, I can eat cucumbers, I can eat mushrooms, I can eat yellow squash, but I can't eat zucchini. And those are good because that's really all I need as far as the vegetable world.
Just a little bit of variety.
Just a little. Yeah, like
otherwise you eat meat.
I just eat meat. And
a tiny bit of eggs.
Yeah, I am very prone to egg aversions.
But that started after you had COVID.
That's right. It did.
So I think like COVID broke you for eggs.
It did. And it's weird. I know going into this challenge that I have to tiptoe with eggs. I can eat deviled eggs all day long, every day.
She's gonna work on making some bacon mayo for deviled eggs.
I did use Duke's mayo today for my deviled egg food prep because it's what I had. Again, I'm lazy. But I saw a recipe for bacon mayo, and I have been saving my bacon grease for a while. So as long as it's not rancid, I'll be making me some bacon mayo for next week. But I can eat boiled eggs and I can eat deviled eggs. Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, any other way. I don't know why, but it's like that. You ever hit that wall when you're eating pork fat? Like all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, it's too much. Oh my God, I can't eat it. Eggs do that to me, and it can take one bite of eggs to do it to me, except deviled and boiled. Those I can eat with no problem. I don't know why.
Now, so you eat meat, you eat a handful of vegetables that you have tested or tried and true.
Yep.
Do you eat anything that is a keto product?
I do. Despite getting over sugar addiction, I still go through periods where I have to have something sweet. So, full disclosure, my favorite thing, and I've tried probably everything under the book, under the sun, under the book, in the book, under the sun. How about that? I am very sensitive to erythritol, so I do not consume products if I can help it. If it's a last-ditch resort and I'm traveling and I can find a Lily's bar, I will eat a couple pieces of it. But Chalk Zero.
Yeah, because Chalk Zero is all like stevia or monk fruit.
I'm telling you, if
They
you
don't use
Chalk
any
Zero
artificial.
people are listening, I love you. I love you. You're killing me because you give me too many options for sweet stuff, but thank you.
But that's your usual. And
Yeah.
And I think where I do not kind of getting into the idea of like abstainer versus moderators, I am an abstainer because I do not have the ability to moderate. So for instance, I won $100 giveaway for Chalk Zero right before I went to Keto Palooza, and it's all gone. Now,
It's all gone.
I will say $100 doesn't get you a lot. Now, that's not just me.
That's true. That's
Okay?
true. Okay.
So it's not just me, but yes, $100 worth of Chalk Zero gone. You know, and it's because like I'll sit there, and if it's in front of me, I'll eat so much of it that I will make myself sick.
Yeah.
So I have to.
Yeah.
I can't have it in the house.
Yeah.
Are you able to moderate
Yes.
that sort of thing?
Yeah, and I'm very strategic about where I keep my things. So first of all, I have to hide if it's something that I love and I don't want to share, because my husband has absolutely no moderation skills whatsoever. He will eat it. I have to hide the things that are my favorite and put them in a certain place, out of sight, because for him, out of sight is out of mind. He doesn't know it exists because he will not move things to find things. Bless
Like
it.
every husband.
Oh my God. So, if I'm really, really wanting something sweet, the good thing about Chalk Zero is some of their things they just have that like so rich and sweet goodness that you really only need one piece to curb that sweet craving. I'm not going to say that I always have one piece. I might have 2 or 3. There have been times where I will sit there and eat 8 pieces.
But you are going from today
Today I'm not having any at all for
to
the next month.
Yes, so
Yeah.
we are completely abstaining from that altogether.
Because I want to give this a real shot. I want to get past that 60-pound loss mark. I want, I bought 2
gonna
new
say
pairs
a
of jeans
strong
that
word.
are tight, and I can't wait for them to fit by Christmas.
I guarantee that you're going to surpass that 60-pound mark.
Can't wait.
You can't not.
Can't wait.
So we're doing that.
Yeah.
And I really think that that's going to happen pretty easily. So
excited.
We're going for it.
I'm not going to lie. If my knee stops hurting because I stopped eating dairy, I will be giving up dairy for
You heard her. It's on film.
I said it on camera. If I'm able to make it hiking in the woods of the mountains of North Carolina on my vacation with no pain, I will never go back to dairy.
And I really think that you will find with Triple B&E that because you are not perpetuating the sweet, that the desire for sweet actually gets broken. It is really one of the only ways that I have been able to get control over my desire, because I'm one of those people that it's like if I have a meal, I want a sweet thing to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And I mean, even sometimes that would be like a diet soda because that tastes sweet. But that's the only beef butter bacon eggs is the only thing that has completely eliminated that desire. So
That's
might
exciting.
Even, have a little bit more mental freedom as far as not having that desire or craving. That usually is after a few days. Of BBB.
Okay.
But that'll feel better.
That's exciting.
So, 2 questions we're going to do back to back.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is one, rambling, we both ramble, one surprising, unexpected benefit or change that you have experienced by going keto? I mean, everybody expects the idea of weight loss or that sort of thing, but like, what is one surprising that you just did not expect to improve?
My brain clarity. I would say it's energy and brain clarity is kind of one and the same for me. I didn't realize that I high functioned under brain fog until suddenly it was gone. And then when I got COVID and I got that brain fog, I was like, why? I cannot put a sentence together. What is happening to me? And then I realized once I got past that I was like, oh my God, I lived in a constant state of brain fog and was completely unaware of it. And here I am, I'm literally running a company and can't think straight. Like, wow.
If you're in the Southeast, you need a marketing company. So what is on the opposite side of that spectrum, what either has been the hardest adjustment or what has been a downside of going keto? Is there a downside?
I don't think there's been a downside. I would have said a downside would be like enjoying certain foods in certain situations, or it's
like
a birth,
FOMO, like fear of missing
right?
out.
It's a birthday. I know there's going to be cake and sweets and all these things, but I'm not going to be able to partake. And am I going to feel bad about that? Am I going to be tempted enough to eat that thing? But what I have found instead is I'm the person that offers to bring the dessert, because then I can control the situation.
And I will say, like, she is like bananas at keto desserts. And something I forgot to touch on earlier with this when I asked you about keto products.
Oh yeah.
So, she mentioned Chalk Zero, and it's got, clean ingredients, but both Angie and I are of the we can't have gluten mindset.
God.
So, like, it doesn't matter if it says keto real big on the label. All of those keto breads and tortillas.
Wheat.
It is just as bad as the real thing. And for me, at least, because I've blood sugar tested it, my glucose goes bananas with it, just like it would if I ate regular white bread.
Right.
But in general, like, there's a whole lot of inflammation and puffiness and stuff. So neither of us touched those things.
No, not at all.
So she is more, I just wanted to clarify, more whole foods other than the occasional Chalk Zero, or like when you make a dessert or something like that.
Yes, and when I make a dessert, I'm quite careful about, and I'm good at swapping things in and out based on if I'm using someone else's recipe. If it calls for something that I know might be an issue for me, whether it's digestion or might spike something, I swap it out for something I know is safe for me. So yeah, I honestly, a friend of mine turned 40 last year, and I offered to make her birthday cake. And of course, the crazy people that, eat badly, they were like, oh, no, we don't want sugar-free cake. Like, so I made two. I made a triple mousse cake, keto style, and then regular. And I'm not even lying when I say that all those people that had to have their sugar thought that my keto one tasted better.
Boom.
So, and it's been requested since then. Like, I make shout out to the Big Man's World. His recipes, every one of his recipes that I've made has been phenomenal. His brownie bottom cheesecake is my #1 requested dessert from friends who are not keto.
Yep. Which I have tried that, and it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what has made this an easy journey for you?
You. I mean, in all honesty, you've made it easy. Every time, I'm very fortunate that Karen is such a nerd that she loves research. She loves
backhanded compliments.
I meant it genuinely though, in a good way. She's very good at, she hears something from Dr. Barry or Dr. Boz or
Dr. Ben Bickman.
Yes, Dr. Bickman with his research. Oh my God.
Talk about nerds. He's my favorite nerd in the world.
He's the best nerd in the whole world, especially for people like us. And she digs into it. And before she tells me anything, she digs into it, and then she'll send me, because again, she knows I'm lazy. She'll say, it's 3 minutes long.
She will never watch this video because it's too long for her.
True. But you're going to heavily edit, I hope. Why didn't we just go live in that case? Then we'd have, there's no
Maybe
filter.
we need to do lives every now and then.
There's no filter. Yeah, and let people ask questions so that we can crack up laughing together. That'd be funny. And get completely off topic like normal. Surprise. Yeah, no, Karen's made it very easy because she does all the research and I get to benefit from her research, which is phenomenal. I don't have to, I have bought many keto books and have not opened a single one of them. I've actually given them away to other people who want to start keto, and I give them the same original guidelines that she gave me, like, start here and only worry about this, and on day 7 to 10 this is what you can expect, and on day 15 to 20 this is what you can expect, and don't do this, do this. And a lot of people have thanked me for that, and I'm like, follow Southern Ketovore because she makes it easy and she's honest and shares the real stuff that she's already read about, not just a headline from something that a lot of people do that I've seen.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Now, what, so okay, we're doing this challenge to kind of get a head start going into the holidays. So we're excited about that. What are your goals, like going forward? What are your continued goals with keto as far as like your health goals, or, you know, do you want to run a marathon?
No. That sounds awful.
Do you want to go rock climbing?
No. I just
So
want
what are your
to,
goals?
I mean, like, if I feel this good now, I want to feel better.
Right.
Like, I want to continue to have more energy. Of course, I want to lose weight. I'd like to be a little smaller than I am now. I'd like to fit into, I mean, I have a closet full of beautiful clothes that range from things that fit me now, almost fit me, and don't fit me. And I would like to have the full range of my closet. And the only reason I have clothes that don't fit me is because I like buy things on clearance. I'm an impulse shopper, but I'll see something really beautiful and I'm like, one day I'm going to wear that.
She's a shopaholic.
I am. But having things in my closet to look forward to is good for me. Because when I originally started this, I had set goals for myself. And like with a goal, I need a reward. And it's really funny because it didn't click for me until at least, I think I was almost at or maybe it was when I hit my 50-pound mark loss, that it dawned on me that the rewards I had set for myself, most of them were food-based. And I remember my 50-pound reward, I wanted for my birthday, after reaching 50 pounds, I wanted to go to Camilla's and do the tea that has like all the cute little desserts and the little pedophores, and like it's basically a tray full of sugar and tea with sugar in it. And I finally hit that 50 pounds and I was so proud of myself and I felt good and I felt like I looked better, and I stopped and I was like, wait a minute, did I seriously set myself out to reward myself with shit that I haven't eaten in 2 years?
Which is something that a lot of people do. It's like, oh, I've been doing so well for so long, and then you reward yourself.
Yeah.
And it becomes a 3-month bender.
Why?
Where you aren't on track anymore, and so you're not serving yourself by doing that. It's not an appropriate reward.
And I think that if I had not had that little taste of cake batter that day and realized what sugar does to my body and my brain, I don't think I would have caught on to that. So that when I did hit the 50 pounds, I probably would have gone and rewarded myself with those pedophores, and I'm sure I would have enjoyed every minute of it until the sugar set in and thought I was dying. But yeah, it just kind of dawned on me, like, why would you reward yourself with something that you've been abstaining from for your health? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Heard. Instead, I bought myself a Gucci belt. Yeah, you know.
She's bougie.
I'm bougie.
Yeah.
Unapologetically.
I'm wearing the same Lucky Brand belt that I bought for $5.99 from like TJ Maxx when I was pregnant with Chandler.
But you're missing
16 years ago almost.
But you're missing it. I haven't worn a belt since I was in high school.
Oh yeah. Okay. That was a big reward.
It's a big reward because belts don't fit me, or they didn't fit me, and I was like, well, had not wanted to wear a belt because I knew belts don't fit me.
That did not means more.
See, that's why.
Okay.
That's why I was like, okay, so when I hit 50 pounds, I'm going to buy that really ridiculously expensive belt, and I'm going to wear it, and I have worn it.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
That was my reward.
It's all in the feels.
That's right.
And I like it.
That's right.
And here's the thing, like, I will say, you know, we have always, I hit the in-law lottery with this family, and we have always gotten along really well, and in the last several years we've gotten closer.
Definitely.
But during this transformation, I mean, we talk every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we have gotten extraordinarily close. Mm-hmm. And so I am grateful that you came to me for it, just because now, you know.
I'm so glad that you did all the work, because I have nothing short of probably saving my life, because the path I was on, who knows.
And I like you.
Thanks.
So the idea of keeping you around longer, because here's the thing, we've all already agreed, like at least your mom told me like way back, that if ever your brother decided to leave me, that y'all were keeping me in the deal. Not that that's gonna happen.
No.
Like ever. He's my
No.
best buddy. But you know, I mean, y'all are my family.
That's right.
And if only we could get all of the rest of this family on board.
I know.
Richard does keto like, I don't know, 2 out of 7 days a week. And now has very abruptly been reminded of his health issues that he had prior to keto, which was primarily gastroparesis. And so he had an event a couple days ago that was very similar. And I think it scared him enough to get back on track. Angie's husband, not so much. So we're going to continue.
He eats what I make for him, but he,
but when he is unsupervised, he does not make good choices.
yeah.
Your parents.
Oh my God. My dad eats like a 12-year-old child.
He does.
It's ridiculous.
Now he is vision impaired, so he's not able to prepare his own food, which is where your mom comes in, and she makes delicious Southern food that is full of carbs and calories and all of the bad stuff. Yeah. Cheese biscuits and cheese biscuits. I gotta figure out a way to, anyway.
I know.
But we would like to eventually get the rest of these people on board, because you know, I feel like long term this is like, okay, being healthy and living longer, but then not only that, what do you want those last 10, 20 years of your life to look like?
Right.
You know, do you want them, I think back to not my young friend Brenda, but my older friend Brenda, the Brit. She is the same age as my mom. And I see, so 74, and I see my mom, who is late stage dementia and immobile, and spent a life of very poorly controlled or uncontrolled type 2 diabetes, and a handful of meds at each meal. To, you know, I attribute all of that to her current state, and that this is what the last years of her life are going to look like and have looked like. And then I look at Brenda, who same age but has maintained a healthy diet and is able to be active, and she runs a marathon a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Not that I want to run marathons, that's not happening, but I look at it as, you have some choices that you can make, and what do I want 74 to look like for me? Do I want to be in a home or incapable of moving around and being weak and having cognitive issues, or do I want to try to make those last year? You know, the goal is to just go to sleep one night and not wake up.
Right.
And I don't want to be in a position where those last 10 or 20 years of my life are miserable
Right.
and uncomfortable and full of pain. And if we can try and convince more of our family, leading by example, to improve their own health, then we, number one, the ends of their lives are going to be better, but then also we won't have to witness that kind of,
Right.
you know, because it's not fun to watch. So
It's not.
and Dr. Bigman, just like yesterday or today, seriously, posted another thing about a study about Alzheimer's, and I have tried repeatedly to talk to my dad, because he's my mom's primary caregiver, about how ketones can fuel the brain.
Yes.
And can help. I mean, you're not going to cure it, but can
Slow it down.
improve quality of life in that circumstance. And with your family being very rich in having
Oh my
dementia
gosh.
and Alzheimer's, it's something that we've really tried to encourage your parents to do too. And
Yeah.
your mom is of the mindset, I'm going to do this, because she's not going to, but that she's of the mindset of, well, I'm 67 years old and I'm going to do what I want to eat, what I want. I'm not going to eat all the
69. She just turned 69.
69. Really?
Yeah. 69. But she's the baby of 6, and 3 of her older siblings all have different stages of dementia.
2 of which
2
are
living in
in long-term
homes.
care,
Yeah.
and one who is still currently being cared for at home.
Well, because her husband is a medical doctor who is equipped, but he himself is probably,
struggling with this health.
Caregiver syndrome is a real thing, and when you're dealing with somebody with dementia, late stage dementia especially, like, that's going to take a lot out of you.
Yeah.
Even if you're prepared.
Well, we're not going to end this on the downer, though.
Sorry. Yes. That's right.
So, do you want me to go and get our plate?
Yeah.
I'll get our plate.
Okay.
Because eggs are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what Angie made. Now, it does have mayo.
It does. This one does.
But
yes.
that's because she has not yet tried to make the bacon mayo. And there's also a butter mayo recipe. And also my friend Sean, the intentional carnivore, makes deviled eggs every single day, and he uses butter in place of mayonnaise. And he like mixes the yolk and hot water and butter together to
Interesting.
So we might have to try that.
Okay.
But meanwhile, we've got a few that have
Yes.
mayo, but we have some bacon and some beef. So we have beef, bacon, and eggs.
Exactly.
So I just burped. I'm
Oh
sorry.
goodness. And if you don't already know about this, Carnivore Crisps is
Also not sponsored.
not sponsored, but one of my favorite things. So they make, you know, I'm sure you've seen the different like dehydrated ribeyes and you know, brisket and all whatever. It's like jerky, but way better because it's just the beef and salt. But the steak these with the steak stuff on it, what they do is not only can you buy the pieces of meat like jerky, but then they take all their crumbles and they bag those separately. So it's like your bacon bits, but it's essentially grass-fed beef bits.
Beef bits.
And that's what's on top of that. And I use that in my salads. I'll use it, you know, if I mix it into the deviled eggs. Like, it's good stuff, man.
All right.
So,
A bacon one and a beef one. Cheers.
cheers
Cheers to beef, butter, bacon, eggs.
for the next month.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's good.
Mm-hmm. It's a little crunchy, but it's good.
I like it. It's a fun texture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also bought their beef powder or flour, beef flour.
Mhm.
I'm going to try making a beef bread. See what happens. I know it sounds disgusting, but I don't know why, but I'm determined I'm going to do it and I'm going to like it.
It does. But, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
All right. How many deviled eggs do you think you can eat in a sitting?
In a sitting, I'll take that challenge.
I know. Why is it so easy?
I don't know.
We were just talking about this before we filmed.
Like, if you go out to eat and someone says, how many eggs would you like? Oh, I can only eat 2.
Yeah.
How many deviled eggs would you like? 36.
Yeah. We'll make them for every holiday
Oh my
dinner.
gosh, yes.
She's got this big old platter and she'll do like 2 dozen. So there literally will be like 48 deviled eggs. And before dinner is even ready, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Because between the, like, what, 8 of us,
Yeah.
it's like,
The last
wipe them out.
last family holiday, I purposely put the tray in the refrigerator so that we wouldn't eat them all before dinner. And then once dinner came, I completely forgot that I had made deviled eggs. And my mom was like, where are the deviled eggs? I was like, oh my God! It was the first time they've ever made it to dinner.
that's what we have to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good stuff.
All right.
Yep.
Yep. Gonna do it.
Gonna do it.
All right. And then we're gonna do another video just like this
Mhm.
at the end to get all of your feedback, documentation, all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do both of our measurements and everything at the end too, so we can calculate a total loss.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm big on my accountability. So I tell Karen everything that I eat every day, but especially when I make new recipes, I like to post them on my page on Instagram. I am not a
6
YouTuber.
months to life. I will show it at the bottom,
Yeah.
and I'll include the link below for Angie's Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not
as
a
well.
I'm not a creator. I document my food because I get lazy and I forget when I'm meal planning for the next week what I want to eat. So I always go back through my Instagram and it helps me. Oh yeah, that's right. I really liked that meal, or I really liked this recipe, or oh, I'm going to make that again, because you forget and you get stuck in ruts.
So it is definitely, her Instagram is more of like a really good example.
It's a food diary.
It's a food diary, but you can definitely go over there and look at the different things that she's had and get ideas of what to eat, because a lot of people, when they come to keto, they feel deprived or lost in what foods you can eat, and you can kind of hit a wall.
Yeah.
And so having that ability to look and get some ideas for inspiration is good.
Yeah, and I love to experiment, so
I don't.
I do. I love to experiment.
Give me scrambled eggs and burger patties. I'm good to go.
But also, I was raised in a
Pickles.
Southern household that all the food was fried.
Yeah,
and
ma'am.
I have found ways to make some of my favorite foods keto style.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people that have had them have no idea that they're not unhealthy.
The only big fail that we've ever had was
Oh, God.
green bean casserole.
I thought you were going to say the bread.
Oh, and neither of us like the Tempur-Pedic mattress bread.
I don't know how you people
Because-
eat that stuff.
The
Or the, I should I even say brand names, that bar.
carnivore bar.
Oh my God.
Wretched.
I don't know how you people eat that.
But yeah, the big, oh God, that green bean casserole was
Yeah, it was not good.
not good.
We tried.
We tried. It was like last Christmas or Thanksgiving or something. So,
Yeah.
but we're
Yes.
gonna do this. We're gonna document it. We'll come back together day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And get all of our stuff together.
Yes.
She's gonna hit that 60-pound mark. She's going to
I'm gonna
surpass
hit
that
more than
60-pound mark.
That's right.
So when I did 30 days beef butter bacon eggs, I lost like 6 pounds. So, and I mean that was. I still feel like I could have done better, but it's
Okay.
so easy.
I'm excited.
No, it wasn't 6. It was like 13.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm gonna have to look back at it.
I'm
That
excited.
was last August. So
I'm
it's been a while.
excited.
Been a hot minute.
And I'm good at telling Karen when I'm have a buddy when you do challenges, because when I get lizard brain and the voices start speaking, I'll text her and be like, "Oh my God, talk me off the wall! Talk me off the wall! Help me! Help me!"
And that it helps to have a person that you can do that with, or you can go to my Instagram or Angie's Instagram and just throw it in the comments and complain, or DM either one of us, and we try to respond if we need to talk you off the ledge. And even though Angie doesn't Facebook often, we do. I have my Facebook group.
Yeah, I am in
which
the group, but
is
it's
always
not
linked
active.
below. So you can always join the group, and everybody there. There's one rule: do not be a butthead.
Yeah, we don't.
Buttheads
accept
get
that.
banned. We don't. Everybody supports everybody there.
That's right. Everyone's trying their best.
So whether people are doing low carb or keto or carnivore, everybody is welcome in that group, and there is no permission for policing. That is the one question in the questionnaire that I will not accept someone into the group if they don't answer. Is, do you promise not to be a butthead? Yep. And if people leave it blank, I'm like, deuces. I don't. You can answer every other question. I'm not going to let you in if you don't promise not to be a butthead, because that's the biggest rule.
Yeah.
Is don't be rude.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody is doing their thing.
That's right.
Best we can.
That's right.
Yep.
If you're doing something, you're doing more than you were doing yesterday.
Yep. But, hey, do you want to be on camera?
No.
Oh, short little legs. She just ate it.
Want me to break your camera?
You want an egg?
Don't you take no, no, no.
Here we go. She's got it. She's got it. You're not in the frame. It's
Just
fine.
picking. It's okay.
I don't like to see your video on camera.
We
You can take the plate in there and share with Dad.
Oh, you didn't say that. Bye.
Hi. Hi, bye.
Y'all coming?
Go see.
Deviled eggs are a love language all on there.
100%. Because they get eaten so quickly. Anyway.
All right.
See y'all in a month.
See y'all in a month. Love you, mean it. It's gonna be good.
That's right. You don't Photoshop yourself and make the wall like do all bendy things where you can tell it's highly photoshopped.
Make my butt bigger and my waist smaller.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't highly.
You don't
edit.
Kardashian your videos.
No, we'll do a whole bunch of jump cuts where it,
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I'm a normal person, right? I'm not a robot, so I'm gonna stutter sometimes or
Right.
stumble over my words or get words mixed up, and I would just assume not.
Well,
edit out
then
the
people
fact
know that
we're
you're.
normal.
Yeah, exactly. Then people who might be on the fence of, can I do this? Do I want to do this? Well, it's just like that guy at Keto Palooza. Honestly, my favorite person in the whole audience was that man that got up and he started crying and he said, "I came here. I didn't want to come here because I didn't want to be in a room full of skinny, perfect health people. And he said, and then I got here and I realized it's a room full of people that are like me. We're all on different stages of this, and all of us have the common goal of trying to get healthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I wanted to go hug that man. I was like,
That's why I had to go and hug Evelyn after she spoke, because it was, you know, a lot of people feel very alone.
yeah.
And especially if you're in a family where you're the only person doing it. And when, you know, we all went to that place on purpose. And so everybody, it's like you automatically had 300 people on your side that were rooting for you right away. So.
Yep. If you're just starting out, and this is what I've told anyone that's asked me about what I've been doing with my health, and do not pay somebody. I'm not saying the words right. You don't have to pay to be keto. You just have to eat the right food.
Yep.
Or stop eating the wrong food, rather.
Yep. And there are people who do like private coaching and stuff that
Totally valid.
you know, you have people like Maria, Kim Howerton does it.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying don't
you know,
pay for a program. If you're the type of person that needs so much structure, then there are legitimately good programs that are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are able to follow simple rules,
like the fact that some people charge like for monthly meal plans
That's
and stuff like
insane.
that, you don't have to
That's
do any
insane.
of that.
Don't
It's
do that.
Absolutely not necessary.
yeah. And I mean, in my case, I didn't need to buy a single book. So I got one in the family already. Do you need help?
Would you like to go inside?
She probably has to potty.
She's going inside to potty.
I broke that dog. That's not a real dog. She's so cute, though. Yeah.
She uses pee pads instead of grass.
She's indoor trained. I'm not sorry. Again, I'm lazy.
Bougie. She got a designer dog.
I do have a designer
It's broken.
dog.
She's allergic to tap water.
I had a drop of water.
Mosey. I can grow under any conditions.
And boy, does she.
I need to put Mosey on keto.
Yep. I mean, Munchie's keto.
She's not a good example.
She is perfectly healthy as healthy can be because she's under bad breeding circumstances.
That's true.
Yeah, I got her from, obviously it was definitely a puppy mill, so I don't care. I rescued her. I don't care what anybody says.
Didn't her mom died and
Yeah, her mom died in delivery.
but at least
She was the runt.
she has a happy she wasn't gonna make it otherwise. So we not me her. You got saved. Yes, you did.
She hit the
Oh,
family
nugget.
lottery for sure.
Okay, we're gonna go and take selfies for a what's that thing called? Thumbnail.
Ooh, okay.
For the thumbnail.
That sounds like fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I am your prodigy. I'm here to help. We're doing it.